Goes. You're still framed up well. Perfect. Here, I'll scoot the camera just a little bit for you. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
Fantastic. Yeah, we checked the microphone. Okay. People will start rolling in. You'll see that I have to check my camera, check this phone in a moment. I just have to do one more of those posts. But we should be live. We should be good. I'm going to double check the audio first. Check, check. Can I get you to say something quick, Grandma?
Good afternoon, everybody. Is that enough?
Mm-hmm.
Is it working?
Should be. 1 second. Put it a little closer to you. Okay. Okay, yeah, we're good.
Okay.
All right, so we will do a short little intro ditty just so that I can have it for the YouTube video. But after that, like, don't worry, nothing is very formal. You've done this with me before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, just be yourself. Feel free to just like converse as organically as it comes up. You don't necessarily have to feel like you're putting on a show. It's just a conversation, okay? All right. So for anyone watching this in the future, if you're watching it on YouTube or any of the other platforms, I do want to let you know I do simulcast. So I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitch, I'm on Kick all at once. So we're covering all of the bases. What you're watching right now is kind of something that I'm going to use in the future as like a reference point, and so that I can have these videos on file. Previously, last year, I interviewed Grandma to get like the background story of her humble upbringings out in Saskatchewan, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah, so now I wanted to like kind of get some more details about the mid-range of her life, because like specifically with her work, it's kind of similar to me, where she's bounced around and done a whole wacky variety of tasks. So I'm like gonna try to create a timeline of everything that she's done, and then discuss each one of the different jobs and how she participated in them. Because a lot of these scenarios, you owned your own businesses in many of the cases, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy, especially when you add the years to it, because that was so long ago. You're an independent business lady before it was cool to be one.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested to see where you go with it. I'm just adding one last post here, and then we'll start babbling away. Do you have anything? Do you want to say hi? Do you have anything you want to start off with? Is there anything that comes to mind immediately for you?
Nope. Just welcome everybody for listening to me.
The internet loves you, Grandma.
Oh yeah.
And I'll pay attention. If you feel like you see something in chat you want to address, you can. Otherwise, I'll help prompt you on what
Yeah.
people
Okay.
are
You
saying,
tell me.
so you don't have to stress out about it too much.
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we're trying to get a timeline of all the jobs that you've done. So we were running through the list yesterday. We're going to start off by, they're all out of order. I'm just going to clarify what we have here. And then we're going to talk about what you did before, as you were like Saskatchewan and leaving. And then we're going to try to put them in order of which jobs after each other. And then we'll talk about each one briefly. We won't go insanely deep. I'm just curious about your involvement, what you did, and what inspired you about them. Okay?
Yep.
So first, we have the hobby shop and the pet shop.
Okay. Well, that's businesses. You don't want what I did before.
We'll get there. That's just, we're double checking the list.
Okay.
We're double checking our
okay,
list.
Yes.
So hobby shop and pet shop, and those were our combo store.
Yes.
And then you had the photo shop, Blue Jay Photography, that then changed to JB Photography.
Yeah.
Which I was laughing with Dad that
Why?
Grandpa had the foresight to not call it BJ Photography.
Why? think he was going to, but it was taken or something. Or
Well, because the Blue Jays was taken.
Something like-
It was called
something.
Blue Jay Photography, as far as I know.
Mhm.
And then the Blue Jays baseball team started.
Could be.
And you got a
something.
cease and desist to change the name.
Yeah.
But then the initials would be BJ, like blowjob.
Yeah, right.
So I'm glad that he had the foresight
Yeah.
to change it to
Wow.
JB.
Mhm.
That's.
Mm-hmm.
You had the fish and chip shop.
Mm-hmm.
You had the Shake Shack.
Mm-hmm.
You did the golf club food service.
Mm-hmm.
You did Gopher Catering, where you did a
Yep.
bunch of films.
Yeah.
Okay. You ran the kitchen at the Legion, which was fine dining,
Mhm.
which I didn't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was fine dining.
Yes, it was.
Curling
It was called
rink.
Hawkeye because of it.
Hawkeye?
Yeah, because I would spot spots on glasses as when they set the table, because glasses were on the tables.
Yeah.
When I'd walk in, I could spot them, so they called me Hawkeye because I walked in. That's dirty. That's dirty. That's dirty.
Oh my gosh! So you've always been a perfectionist, eh?
Well, not all, but pretty close. Yes.
Yeah. Like the perfectionist, of course, says she's not a perfectionist.
Mhm, yeah.
And Ethan, our friend from the UK, says hello.
Okay. Hello.
After that, you managed the curling rink.
Mhm.
And that was you just general management, or what was the curling rink? Just briefly.
I was
briefly.
briefly just in the bar area.
Bar.
Gary was the one that was managing it. I was looking after the bar and the Nevada tickets and stuff like that.
Okay, and then you worked at the hospital
Yes.
as the X-ray. So not an X-ray technician, as
No.
an X-ray
I just typed out X-ray reports.
X-ray reports.
Yeah.
You worked at the Central School as a teacher's aide.
It wasn't at Central School. It was at Green Tree Junior High.
Green Tree Junior
Yeah,
High.
as teacher's aide.
That-
Believe it or not, I had Don Serratus, but I didn't remember him because he was one of the quiet ones. I just remember the ones that caused me grief.
Yeah, it's just the ones that were a headache.
Yeah, yeah. Because he said I was in that class.
And then so you had the Grouches after that. Oh, I guess
No,
that
we're
timeline
not-
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no,
But I mean,
no. The
as in
Grouches
we
was
had the
after
Grouches.
after the Legion and everything, and
Okay.
Grouches was the last
I'm
one.
getting an extra sheet from your big book, so
Okay.
I'm gonna rewrite them into the big list. I just realized this might be easier for me to put them back in order after that.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and then you sold Regal, which
Yes.
is ceramics. Is it male?
It was all giftware.
Giftware.
Yeah,
Okay.
different types of giftware.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just purely ceramics.
No. It was everything. T-shirts and everything.
And then you had clothing and Tupperware parties.
Yes, I did. Yep, for people. Yep.
And then you went to the farmers markets.
Yes, I did.
Is that all your Drumheller based jobs currently?
Wait, you got the Legion and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, and yes, and then the Grouches came after the farmers markets.
Okay. All right.
That's the old Grouches, and that's where I've been ever since for 39 years.
So then before those,
Mhm.
when you were living in the small town, what came before that?
In Saskatchewan,
Yeah.
I was working at the hospital as a nurse's aide.
Okay.
Then once I finished school, I went and I was working in the office at the hospital.
So and then hospital office.
Yep.
Just doing
Admitting. And then
hospital
admitting.
admin. Okay.
Yep. And then I went to the geriatric center, and that's where I met my husband.
At the geriatric
Yeah,
center.
I was in the office there, and he was cooking the kitchen.
Oh, I know a lot of words, but I don't think I know how to spell geriatric. I'm gonna guess. That's funny. That's one. I
Mhm.
think that's. I got a big
Well,
vocabulary.
now they call it where your dad worked at a
At long-term care
long-term
facility.
care, yeah. But at that time they called it a geriatric center. But now it's probably long-term care center.
So Saskatchewan.
Yeah, Melfort, Saskatchewan.
You started as a nurse's aide?
Yes, I did. That was my first job. Yeah. And then I was in the office, in admitting, and then at the Geriatric Center.
Okay. So again, we're going to put them all in order now, and then we'll come back to the list and talk about them
Okay.
in order, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So office admin and then geriatric center.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then you moved to Drumheller
No, we moved to Prince Albert first.
and Prince Albert, okay.
Yeah. And there, I worked as, we had boarders. That's what we had. So I looked after boarders.
See, there you
Cooked
go.
and
There's
cleaned.
there we added another one. Okay.
Yeah. For 3 years.
So Prince
And then we
Albert,
moved.
you hosted boarders.
Yes. And then we moved to Drumheller after 3 years in Prince Albert.
And that's all you did though? You hosted boarders?
Yeah, I didn't work, no. Because I had your
A lot of
dad and
cooking,
Brenda
yeah.
to look after, so I was at home.
Yeah,
'Cause
you
your
had-
dad was born there in Prince Albert, so.
You had the kids and then you'd have to do all the cleaning. It would be like an Airbnb.
Yes,
You'd have to constantly
yes.
be
You
tidying
cooked
it
for
up.
them. I washed their clothes and I cleaned, and so that's what I did.
And then Drumheller.
Yes, and then Drumheller in 1970.
Okay. All right, the picture's already getting bigger. I knew it was a long one.
That's what I said. Your dad probably didn't remember a lot of it in Prince Albert and stuff because he was just born there.
Yeah, he was just a little boy, a little baby boy.
Yeah.
So then Drumheller.
Hmm.
I'm guessing you started with the hospital work
No,
and the
no,
teacher's
no.
aide?
It was teacher's aide.
You started with the teacher's aide
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what came after teacher's aide?
After teacher's aide would have been at the hospital typing out X-ray reports.
Okay, hospital x-ray reports.
Yeah.
X-ray reports. Do you know your job title doing that, chance? No,
No.
that's okay. I was just curious.
No, I have no
It's
idea
not
what it was
important.
called then.
And then from there you worked at the clinic
Yes,
afterwards.
yes, yeah. Same thing, typing out reports.
Obviously on a typewriter, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so from there, is that when you started opening more businesses?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so which came first, the hobby shop or the golf club stuff? That's the part of the timeline I'm confused about.
I have to think. Oh, hobby shop. Hobby shop would have been first.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Hobby shop / pet shop.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And what was the name of the hobby shop?
Pauline's Hobby.
What?
Pauline's Hobby Shop.
Oh,
After
because of
gra-
the
after
stuff.
grandma.
Yeah, okay.
Pauline's Hobby Shop. And there was a gift store too.
It was also a gift store?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and gift shop. Yeah.
Just one-stop shop. Get a fish, get a souvenir.
Yeah,
and-
she had macrame holding, hangers, stuff like that. Yeah.
So then around that same time you started the Photoshop.
After that, because your dad.
But that was the next one immediately
Yes,
after?
yes. And we had a Photoshop in Hannah as well for a while.
2 locations.
Yeah.
Both same name?
Yeah.
Okay. And so then while you had the Photoshop was then when you were doing the fish and chips in the Shake Shack.
Nope, we just said that. We did that after.
So then what came is that what came right after the Photoshop?
Yes, and then we went to the Legion after that.
I thought you were doing the Legion and the golf club at the same time.
Nope, we did the curling rink and the golf club at the same time because curling rink was in the winter and the golf club was in the summer. Legion
Okay.
was after that.
So you're doing the Legion, doing the fine dining, and running
Yeah.
the fish and chip shop.
Fish and chip was in the summertime only because it was just in a
So-
little trailer.
Legion Fine Dining.
Yeah.
Did the fine dining place have any? Was there a name to it, or were you just the restaurant at the Legion?
We were just the restaurant at the Legion
Okay.
in the basement.
And then, so fish and chips. Fish and chips and the Shake Shack.
Yeah.
Man, you guys did a lot of stuff. This is crazy. This is why I wanted to make sure I had it on record.
Yeah, well, I have to think of everything too.
So then the Shake Shack, Legion.
Legion
So-
was
so then
after
when
the
you were-
golf course and the curling rink.
It was after.
Yes.
That's what I. So
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry
after the
if I-
Photoshop. Then
No, Photoshop, and then
what was after the Photoshop? Then
would have been the Shake Shack, and then the golf course, and then
okay, so you did golf course and.
and the
Shake-
curling rink would be at the same time too, because like I said, the curling rink was the winter and the golf course was the summer.
So the Legion, you did the Photoshop, then you moved to the golf course.
Yes.
Okay.
And in the meantime, your grandpa was at the pen too.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you didn't. I'm
Yeah,
concerned
I
about
know.
you.
I know. Yeah.
So golf course,
Yeah.
golf course.
Mm-hmm.
Did that? Were you just the restaurant there? Did you have any name there?
No. We'd probably
Okay.
go for catering. We'd go for catering there. We did catering from there.
So
too.
then you did. So then after Photoshop, you had the golf course, the fish
Mm-hmm.
and chip shack, the fish and chips, the Shake Shack, and the Gopher Catering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Were you doing the movies at that time as well?
Yes. When we had go for catering, yes. If you want to know what year
And
it's
then
on that wall.
After that was the Legion.
Yes. The Legion was, and then the Grouches was after the Legion, because we got fired from the Legion, so that's when we opened up the Grouches.
When was the curling club? Curling
Same-
club was with the Legion.
No, curling club was with the golf course. The golf course was in the summertime,
Okay, so
and the curling club
see
was
now-
in the winter.
Okay, so the Legion was after the curling
Yes,
club.
yes. After the golf course and the curling club, yes.
Did the curling club? Did you have any name for that business
No,
as well?
No.
Okay, and then so after curling club and golf course and cater, that's 5 businesses you were running at once.
Yeah.
Okay. 5 at once. Okay, so Photoshop, then golf course. While you're doing the fish and chips, the Shake Shack, the catering, and the curling club. When you left those, you did the Legion.
Yes.
Okay, and then after the Legion was the Grouches.
Yes. Well, in the meantime, it was going out to farmers markets, because remember, we didn't have a job from the Legion.
So you did the. I thought the farmers markets was during the Grouches.
Yeah, no, before the Grouches. Before we opened up the Grouches. That's what we were doing.
Okay,
for a
there we
living.
go. Perfect.
Okay, it was a Legion. That's when when we got fired. We did the farmers markets, and then we opened up the Grouches.
Okay.
Okay.
And then as you're at the Grouches, that's when you were doing the clothing and Tupperware parties.
No, I did those before. No, I didn't do. No.
Where did you do? When
Oh,
did,
all along.
all along?
Yes.
Okay.
If anybody wanted to have a party, I would do it all
Do an
along.
asterisk with that then.
Yeah. So no specific year or time or
We'll do an asterisk with it.
yeah. No,
I didn't know that was like an ongoing one.
no. It's just
Okay. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 different jobs and businesses you've had.
probably. I don't know. I've never counted.
You've never counted? Well, now we know.
No,
Now we
okay.
know.
Okay.
Okay, so that sounds good. So to double check the order, with your 18 total businesses, you started off in Saskatchewan as a nurse's aide, and then an office admin doing administration. Then you worked at the geriatric center. When you moved to Prince Albert, you hosted boarders as you were raising your kids. When you moved to Drumheller, you were then a teacher's aide, and then you worked at the hospital doing x-ray reports, and then you worked at the clinic doing reports. After that, you guys opened the hobby shop and pet shop that was also a gift shop. Okay. And after that, you opened the photo shop
Yes.
with the 2 locations. And after that, you guys took over the golf course kitchen, while running the fish and chips trailer, the Shake Shack, and doing your catering, as well as operating the curling club.
In the winter, yeah.
Okay. And following those jobs, you then took over the Legion for fine dining. And after that, / during it, you started doing farmers markets.
Yes.
And after that, you started this current business
Right.
that's been operational for 39 years.
Right.
The Old Grouches.
Yes.
Okay. And mingled in there, you did clothing and Tupperware parties.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Fantastic. I
Okay.
like to hear that.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot. You should be proud. That's like way more. You talk about modern era. No one's doing as much shit
Probably
as
not.
you do. God damn, Grandma. Okay. Okay, so we got it all in order. Let me just write down the 3 questions I was going to do so that I don't mess it up and I keep doing them in order for you. So then I could have been slightly more prepared. Journalist me is disappointed at my note-taking capacity. I should have had a little bit more organized. Now, do any memories just initially free flow off of the top of your mind as you're thinking about compiling that list? You got anything to note?
No, not really.
Not really?
No.
Is it surprising to you to like reflect upon how many there really were this
No,
entire
it's
time?
not surprising because I know we did a lot, so. But I'm always the type, I always figure the more you know what to do, the better it is. That's my philosophy. The more knowledge you have about things, the better it is. And you can never say that you can't find a job because you have enough things you've done that you can go either direction.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I'm similar. I to like go back in it for me, it would be a long list as well.
Yeah, see? And you're still young. This is the longest, the Grouches, for 39 years.
Yeah, 39
Yeah.
years is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna start with you in Saskatchewan, okay? Start with you in Saskatchewan. You were a nurse's aide.
Yes, I was.
What did you do specifically as a nurse's aide?
At that time, everything. You looked after people that came out of surgery, you changed sheets, you cleaned up messes from the patients, and just a little bit of everything.
Okay, and how did you find that job?
I didn't mind it. I enjoyed it.
But like, how did you get the job? Let me change that.
Oh,
a little.
I
How'd
don't
you
really
get-
know how I got it. I went there and applied, and I got hired.
And how did you end up leaving that job? Was it because you had another new job lined up?
Because that was just a summer job. I was going to school yet. That was a summer job.
So you're looking to switch it up after that?
Yes, after I was finished school, that's when I went in the office.
Okay. And then why did you have that job? Was it just like summer? You said you were like just paying the bills as you're getting through high school, or was it right after high school?
The office one?
Nurse's aide.
Nurse's aide, no, that was just during the summer, just for something to do.
Okay. And then, yeah, that last one, the feelings ones, how did you feel about it?
When feeling
Like nurses, did you like it?
Yes,
Was
I
it-
did.
What was...
In fact, I was going to become a nurse, but then I ended up getting married.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, I applied for nursing. I got accepted.
Oh.
I was going in for a nurse.
To college or what?
No, to hospitals.
Oh, you just, you could, I guess in that day you could just get
That's
the
right.
job
You
without
went
college.
to the hospital and got your. Yeah, no, I applied for a hospital in Prince Albert, and I got accepted.
So then office admin, we're going to go through like the similar story.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do specifically as the office admin?
Admitted people.
Yeah.
Basically, that was my job, admitting.
Like front desk admitting people
Yeah,
as they came
come
in?
in as a patient. Yes.
So
Yeah.
how did you get that job? Just promotion?
Probably because I was there as a teacher's aide, and the nurse that was in charge liked me.
Yeah, okay.
So I think that's how I got it.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah, because she said I did very well. So
And how did you end up leaving that job?
we moved to Prince Albert.
You
Or
moved?
then, or just a minute,
No, because you had the geriatric
the
center
geriatric
job.
center. Okay.
So how did you end up
Yeah.
leaving
I,
the
oh,
office
okay.
admin?
I promised I would help a girl in the office at the geriatric center. When she got married, she wanted to take a month off to go on her honeymoon, so she asked me if I'd go work for her, and yes, I did. And then we went to Prince Albert.
Okay. And
But we were going to Prince Albert anyways, so.
so you
but-
kind of already answered it, but so the office admin is why you took that job, just because you got promoted through the nurse's aide originally.
mhm.
Even though you wanted to become a nurse, you decided to switch to the.
Well, in the
admin.
meantime, see, I got married too, so I wasn't
Okay.
going for a nurse anymore. I was.
Oh, so immediately after getting
Yeah.
married, then you stopped. So you threw out the dream, even
That's
though you
right.
hadn't moved yet.
Yes, I haven't moved yet. so-
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, how did you feel about that admitting job? Was that?
I liked it.
You
No, I
liked it?
liked it.
Was it talking to all the people?
Yeah.
Why'd you like it?
I just liked it. I liked meeting people and stuff like that and looking after them kind of. And
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
You like
Yeah.
caring for people
yeah,
and
so
helping
no, I
people
liked
out.
it. And that's what I liked about the nurse's aide. I didn't mind being there when they came out of surgery and talking to them and asking them if they wanted anything. And
So what year were you a nurse's aide?
oh, I couldn't tell you.
But this would have been 50.
I
you're
can't
not that
even
old. I
remember
don't
what
even know-
year I graduated, so it would have been a year before I graduated.
I don't even know what year you're born. What year were you born?
1946.
Okay, so this would have been like early 60s then.
Yeah. I
Okay.
got married. Okay, I graduated in '64 then, because I got married in '65.
Yeah, okay, so my math isn't that off.
Yeah,
Okay, so
so-
this would have been like early 60s.
So probably '63 is when I was working as a nurse's aide.
Okay.
Then. Yeah, because it was
That's,
before I
just
graduated.
again, I'm like, I don't even know what year you were born.
Yeah.
So then, geriatric center.
Mhm.
Last job
Mm-hmm.
before you got whisked off your feet and pulled out of town.
Yeah, that's right.
What did you do specifically at the geriatric
There
center?
again, I was in the office. I looked after payroll, and I was the office job. That's how I met your grandpa. Is I gave him his paycheck because he was working in the kitchen.
Okay. But you
So-
said you got married during the office admin job.
Well, that after that.
Okay, so you got married at during the geriatric
yes.
center. Okay.
Yeah,
And so you met my grandpa there
yeah, that's where I
because
met
he
him.
was the cook.
Yes, I went
for the
and gave him his
geriatric center.
paycheck.
And that was because he got that after he came out of cooking school
Yes.
in Saskatchewan.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, and then
Was he wearing a big white hat? Did he wear
yes,
the
he
chef's
was.
hat? I thought
Yes, he
so.
was.
I
Yes,
thought
he
would.
was. White apron and a big chef's hat.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Was it just like the uniqueness of him being a full chef with the chef's hat that caught your eye, considering you're from such a small
No,
town?
actually, it wasn't what caught my eye. It was two women that worked with him that told him to take me out, and he says, I will only take her out if she's in the kitchen in front of me. So they went to the office and picked me up and carried me in the kitchen and said, here, ask her.
Oh, okay, that's adorable.
And he just had a personality, so.
Oh, of course, that man always did.
Yeah, so that's how.
Okay,
And then that's when we left and went to Prince Albert after that. Got married and,
but so before we get there,
yeah.
how did you get the geriatric center job? You briefly mentioned like someone asked you
Yeah,
to come
somebody
over.
asked me to fill in while she went on a honeymoon.
Okay. And then you left that job, as you said, because you moved to Prince
Yes.
Albert after having kids?
No, we didn't have any kids
You
yet.
moved
Oh,
to
Brenda,
Prince-
I lied. Yes, we had Brenda.
Okay.
And that's when we moved to Prince Albert, yes. And then we had Jay and your dad in Prince Albert, and that's when I had boarders.
So you kind of answered why already, but how
Mm-hmm.
did you feel about the geriatric center job? Was that an okay job?
It was okay, yeah. I didn't mind the old people either. You know, they were around all the time and talking to you, and
It's got to be interesting, like
Mm-hmm.
the different eras. A geriatric center in the 60s. What was the average age of someone in a geriatric center?
Mm-hmm. there I think it was older than now. I'd say it'd be 70s or 80s then, but now it's a lot younger ones in there. But
Really?
yeah. No, it was older, and there's guys in there like in the hundreds, and I remember.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I remember
Would
him.
you say there was any like? Did you see a lot of Alzheimer's or Alzheimer's
Yes,
or
there
dementia
was.
at
Yeah,
that
it was
time?
people. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a through and through, even with the difference in the eras.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about
But now I think there's younger ones. See, like that I know.
Definitely, yeah.
You know.
that. You get thrown in
But
a little.
before,
earlier.
yeah, I don't think they put you in that young.
Okay, so you're doing great so far. You're helping add context to everything, and we've gotten through the first phase now.
Mhm,
Okay.
Okay.
So we're looking now at when you moved to Prince Albert with Brenda,
Mhm.
my aunt, and then you gave birth to my father in
Mhm.
Prince Albert,
Mhm.
and you hosted boarders.
Yes.
Okay. So what did you do specifically for hosting the boarders? Like, was it?
I cooked for them. I cleaned. I did their laundry, and
Did you do every meal?
well, if I didn't, Gary did. Like when he came home. But if he was at work, I had to cook.
So part of the condition of like boarding with you guys was cooked meals.
Oh yes, it
3
was
times a
room
day.
and board. They got their room and their food.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's something you don't get
No,
nowadays.
yeah, it was included. The food was included
Um,
at that time.
and
Anyways,
did you clean their rooms too?
well, not really. I didn't clean their rooms. No.
No, they just dealt with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
If there was laundry to be done.
Yes,
did
I
you do
did
their
laundry when I did mine. Or
Did they have to come in and out at like specific hours,
No,
or did
no.
they have keys as
they
well?
had keys.
Okay, that's intriguing to me.
Hmm.
How much did it cost at that time?
I couldn't remember, but
That's
it was
fine.
cheap.
It was cheap.
I can't remember, but I know it wasn't that much.
What type of jobs were they doing?
Well, one was a banker, and the other one I don't know what he was. He got a job through the manpower, so I'm not sure what he did, but he did work every day.
Okay, cool.
But
That's
he got a
interesting.
job through manpower, so I can't remember because I know manpower is the one that got him to come and live with us because we knew the guy that was managing the manpower office, and he asked if we'd take him.
So it's kind of like you obviously started it out of necessity.
Mm-hmm. For
So,
extra money.
Yeah, we have to like tweak the question a bit to like which one of you came up with the idea to do room and board to make the extra money?
I honestly can't remember. Probably both of us, because I didn't want to leave the kids. They were so little, so we probably said, "What can we do to make extra money without me having to go to work, to leave the house?" Eh?
Okay.
So that's probably how it came
So you
about.
both kind of came up with
yeah,
the idea.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, intriguing.
Mhm.
And then you stopped doing it just because you moved, or
Yes.
did you stop doing it?
No,
before
we
that?
stopped because we were going to move here.
Okay. You kind of gave the why because you had to cover all the extra costs and help.
Mhm.
And Grandpa at that time, what was he doing in Prince Albert?
He was working at the pen.
Oh
kitchen.
yeah, because he
got
went to the
tran-
first
he-
pen and
he
then
quit
transferred.
the geriatric center in Melford and got a job at the pen.
Okay.
In the kitchen.
So then, how that last question about the borders is then like, how did you feel about it? Did you mind it because you were already there taking care of the kids? That's a lot, wasn't that a lot to
It
juggle?
was a lot. I don't know if I'd do it again, but
Yeah.
I did it because I had no other choice, basically.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to go get that?
If you want to go check it, you can. That's also perfect timing since we just finished that question
Okay,
set.
then, I'll go see.
Oh, and good timing for me to knock the mic over too. Sorry, chat. This is probably very loud. Apologies. My fault.
Matt,
Yeah, go ahead.
hello? Pretty good. How about you? That's good. Yes, Bailey is. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Pardon? Okay, just a minute. When are you picking your dad up?
We should only be about another hour. We're moving well,
In
so
about another hour.
so I'll go get him in another hour.
Yeah. Sure. That's right. Come over then. Yep. Yes, of course, because I don't even know if he's seen you for a while, has he? Have you been there? Yeah. Oh, have you? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Grandma's on the phone with family friends right now.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Otherwise,
Is that what he said? No?
very happy to get this on record. Love and
Yeah,
appreciate
no, come
Grandma.
over and he's over here then. Yeah. Bailey's just doing an interview with me. That's why he's on some deal and he's doing an interview and all my jobs I've done all my life.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
she's bragging about it, of course.
yeah, okay. So he figures in an hour he'll go pick him up. Okay, see ya. Bye-bye. So Matt wanted to know when he should come over.
Yeah, so he's gonna aim for like 2.
Pardon?
So he's gonna aim for about 2 o'clock, I gather.
An hour, so yeah. He said he'll come over and visit with your dad. Okay.
Okay, so that was perfect timing. That was
Okay.
actually good.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Can I ask one favor, just being cameraman? Can I get you to scoot again this way? You moved the chair
Oh,
when we
sorry.
sat down again.
Okay. There, this way?
Yeah, it should be. That's good enough.
That's okay?
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're on to, we've gotten through Saskatchewan, where you're swept off your feet. You were hosting the Borders in Prince Albert as you were raising your kids. And then you moved to Drumheller. Okay? So that's already, we've gotten through 4 of the like 18 jobs now. Okay. Good breather, reset, and then, yeah, when we're done, I'm just trying to get through this entire storytelling so we don't have to stick around too long on this interview. If I think of more stuff to ask you, then maybe we'll do one more interview before I leave next weekend. We'll see, because we'll be very busy once again.
Yes, that's right.
Never stops around here.
That's right. It's always busy.
So now we're looking at Drumheller. Your first job, you said you were a teacher's aide. You're a teacher's aide. So
Yep.
then back to the 4 questions I've been asking. What did you do specifically as a teacher's aide?
We did everything pretty well. We'd photocopy things, and then we'd help kids if they needed help with something, like help the teachers.
So this was like the late 60s?
No, in the 70s, because I moved
70s.
here in the 70s. So it would have been about, I moved here in the 70s, probably 71.
Okay, because that's my history being off. I didn't know you guys had Xerox machines for the 70s. I
Yeah,
thought
we
those
had
came like,
photocopier machines.
yeah, I thought they came like mid 70s, late 70s.
No, we had it because we used to photocopy.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. How big
So-
was the photocopier?
I don't think it was, well, I don't
Oh,
know.
I thought it was like massive.
It
back
was
then.
quite big, but
Okay.
not, you know,
Not
No.
scary big.
not scary big.
Okay. So how did you get that job when you came to town?
I can't remember if I went to Manpower and they called.
And Manpower is like an employment center.
Yeah,
correct?
right.
Okay.
I must have went to Manpower and then they called me. I think something like that. Or somebody called me. Anyways, I didn't apply for it. I got called. Somebody phoned me and asked if I wanted a job there.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I guess also you were bringing up. Oh, you know what we missed is the welcome wagon on the list.
That's right, we did. But that was in Drumheller. That was,
Was that before?
uh,
That was like during the hobby shop, right?
probably in that area, yes. That's right, I did do
Yeah,
the
we missed
welcome
that.
wagon.
It just came to the top of mind.
Good thing you remembered that I mentioned it last night.
Yeah, exactly. So that makes it like 19 jobs
Yeah.
that you had.
Yeah.
Okay, so teacher's aide, we got how you got it. How did you leave the teacher's aide job?
There again, it was going to become a full-time job, and I just wanted part-time because my kids were little. There again, that's why I quit.
Okay, that like consistent issue that
Yeah,
seems to
that's
be
right.
a through
I just
line.
didn't want to work full-time when the kids were little because I had the neighbors looking after the kids, so I didn't want to leave them all day long.
Okay, and then I presume the why is just because you needed a new job when you got to town. That was like your starting.
There again, yes, I needed extra
Yeah.
money, so yeah.
So how did you feel about that job? Did you like that one?
I liked it, but some of the kids irritated me.
Yeah, like
And they know that. They've mentioned it to Brenda.
you've had some of them that
recently.
were like a little devilish.
Yes,
a little
that's right. They
frustrating.
wouldn't listen to me and give me a rough time. They even remember that. They've told Brenda, my daughter, that I used to bug your mum.
Okay, that's cute. So
Yeah.
you still see some of the kids
Oh,
to this
yes.
day that
Oh,
you were the
definitely.
teacher's aide for.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Would you say that like contributed to your impact in the community? Like that's why some people still remember you is
Oh,
from being in
probably.
the school?
Probably. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
intriguing.
Yeah.
And then, awesome, cute. So we're moving on to the hospital job now.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any other things to note about the teacher's aide gig?
Nope. Nope.
So looking at the now hospital, X-ray reports.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do specifically? And that's what I'm curious.
Just type out X-ray reports. The doctors would.
So doctors would handwrite the notes.
No, they wouldn't handwrite it. They would just speak into the machine, and then I would get it off the machine. They would.
Oh, they had like a recorder.
Yes, a recorder, and then I had to type it off the recorder.
They would have. It was like a tape recorder
Yes.
then at that time.
Yeah, yeah, at that time, yeah. I don't know what
Okay.
they do now, but
So you'd just be. It was like an office job at a desk.
Yeah,
You,
at a
you would get
desk.
the tape.
yes.
You'd listen to the tape and
to put
punch
things
it
in
out.
my ear and listen to it, and then type it.
Okay, so that's yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to ask that. They were like little ear
Yes.
headphones at the
Yes.
time. All right.
Yeah.
How did you get that job? Because that's a very interesting job. That's a unique one to be an X-ray technician reporter.
I'm trying to think how I got it. I really can't remember.
Someone in town, like, because you said the teacher's aide did the same thing. They
Yeah.
wanted you to take more hours as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I can't remember how I got the one at the hospital. It must have been through somebody.
Yeah, because you would have
Yeah.
known people in town by
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you leave that job? That was another part-time issue.
That was
correct?
another part-time, and I didn't want to work full-time, so that's why.
And how did you feel about that job? Because it sounds like much less social interaction than all the
Yeah, I
other
was
jobs
just by
you had.
myself all the time, stuck in an office.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like something
No.
that's very suitable for you.
No, no,
No, so that was kind of draining. You
Yeah.
didn't like that one so much.
no.
And then from there you
Found it
moved.
boring.
So then from there you moved to the clinic
Yeah.
reports, right?
Yeah,
And that one was a bit more sociable for you.
little bit,
A little bit?
yeah.
But was it similar? You were getting tapes of voice recordings
Yes,
and
it
having
was
to
same
type
thing,
them out.
yeah. And it was going to become full-time too, so.
So I know you're from a very small town in Saskatchewan.
Mm-hmm.
Did you take typewriter courses in high school, or did you have to take
I
extra?
took a year's course, years after I graduated. I took a year's business course in the high school.
Okay, but it was like business administration,
Yes. That was typing and book.
and that's where you learned all the typing.
Yes, yeah. That's where I got my training. Yeah.
Did you have a favorite type of typewriter?
No.
Well, you just didn't care.
Just
One
the
that
normal.
worked.
Just
one
the
that worked?
normal one.
All right. So then the clinic reports was just dictating the notes again.
Yes, again, typing out the reports. Yeah.
How did you get that job? You got that job
From the
just
hospital.
from the hospital because you said I wanted part-time,
Exactly.
and they moved you to the
One of the
clinic.
doctors asked me if I'd come to the clinics.
And then you left that job because of the same issue that they
Yes.
were trying to make you work
Yeah.
full-time and you wanted to take care of the kids.
Yes.
Okay, and that job, the same answer of why, is that you were just trying to make a few extra bucks to
That's
support
right,
the
yeah.
kids.
I wanted to work, but I didn't want to work full-time because I wanted to have look after kids too, so.
And Grandpa was still working at the pen.
Yes.
So you guys were doing pretty okay at that point because he had the full-time pen
That's
job.
right, that's right.
And you were picking up all these odd jobs. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, how did you kind of already touched on it, but how did you feel about that job? Was that one, you said it was a little bit more personable, but you also hated sitting at the
Yeah,
desk
I
with the
just don't like
typewriter.
sitting there, and I like being active.
Yeah,
And
so,
that's not being active.
yeah, it was a little too much
Yeah.
sitting around
Yeah.
for your taste.
Yeah,
I can see that.
yeah.
So now we're on to your entrepreneurship era. We're into entrepreneurship era, Fran. And you were saying before that although you liked a lot of these, you were just kind of like helping out Grandpa with his ideas.
That's right. It was his ideas all the time, and I just went along.
Was there any one of these that like he pitched you the idea and you were like, oh wow, I was super passionate about, like that sounds so cool?
Not really.
Yeah. You're just like, okay.
Yeah, okay. If I have to do it, I have to do it.
All right, fair
Yeah.
enough. That's cute.
Yeah.
That's very cute.
Yeah.
Okay, so now first entrepreneurship business. Hobby shop. This is funny. I didn't know it was 3 shops in one. I already thought it was funny that it was a hobby shop and a
Yeah.
pet shop
Yeah.
because that's like modern days a weird combination. Like you had like
Everything.
yeah. So the hobby shop style. What did you guys stock for the hobby shop? Was it like model planes,
everything,
models,
and doing art, like artwork
art
or
too.
like macrame at that time. Everything that was, being done that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the pet shop. I knew you had a lot of fish.
Yeah.
What
and,
other?
a lot of aquariums and
Yeah,
dogs
do you have, like
and
hamsters and shit?
There wasn't that many those
No
type of
rodents?
animals. No.
You had dog
Just
and
fish.
cat accessories.
Yes, we had accessories for animals.
And then you'd work with the shelter, or how? What if someone
No.
came in and wanted a cat?
No, we didn't do that.
You just didn't do it?
No.
And then the gift shop,
Hmm.
same space.
Same, it was giftware, like I said, different things.
So this was Pauline's hobby
Yeah,
shop.
Yes.
But you would come to the hobby shop and it would be a pet shop as well as a
Yeah.
gift shop.
Hmm.
And
That's
this
what it
was
was called.
downtown Drumheller?
Yes, it was. Yep.
Okay. So what did you do specifically for
I
the
just
hobby shop?
mainly did the books. I was doing the books for them.
Okay. You didn't really interact with the front of
No, I
house
didn't.
too much.
No, your dad and your grandpa did, but no, not me.
So I know my dad helped a lot with the fish and the pet side
Yes,
of
he
it.
did.
My grandpa stocked the hobby side as well as the gift
Yes,
shop
yeah,
side.
Yeah.
So I kind of understand like
And he worked with his mom, so.
Okay, so the mom had a heavy involvement in the
Yes.
day to day.
Yes, she was there every day.
The hobby shop, I get how you, and pet shop, I get it. You'd have suppliers, kind of like
That's right. Yeah.
the gift shop. Did you have a
Yeah,
supplier
there were
for that as
suppliers
well?
Too. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And so another one you said Grandpa always pops up with the idea.
Mhm.
Did he ask you to do the books, or were you like, this is, I guess I can do the books for this business?
I think he might have asked me because he didn't want his mom to do it or him. Really, he didn't have time because he was still working at the pen as well. So I think he probably asked me if I'd do it, and I said sure.
Okay, so you're still working at the pen while you had the
Yeah.
hobby shop and
Yeah.
pet shop. Did he lose his job at the pen? When did he, what,
No, he quit his job at the pen just before. He was still
Before
working
the
at
golf
the pen
course.
when we were at the golf course. No, he's still.
oh,
He
wow.
was still working at the pen when we were at the golf course too. He'd come after work.
So
He'd bring your dad and Brenda and
he lost the job at the pen by the time you guys were doing the farmers markets in the
yeah,
Legion.
before the Legion, he didn't lose it. He quit the band.
Quit.
Yeah, he quit the band. He had just had enough.
Grandpa quit pen
Yeah,
before Legion.
yeah. No, when we were at the golf course.
Damn, so all of these side businesses, he was getting full-time
Yes,
salary
oh yes.
plus.
Yeah,
So this is why you guys were doing so okay.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right. So I know there's a bunch of family drama around it. We don't necessarily have to touch on all of that.
Mhm.
I understand that, like, my great-grandmother was had issues and whatnot.
Mhm.
But so you guys ended up closing the pet shop.
Mhm.
Was that
She sold
because
it.
of the
She sold it. She sold it. Your dad asked to get out because he couldn't handle it anymore.
Couldn't
Not
ha-
your dad, your grandpa.
Mhm.
She He asked to get out. He didn't want to be her partner anymore. So
And that's how you guys ended up leaving it.
yes, that's how we ended up leaving it.
And then did she just sold the
She
shop
sold
after
it
that?
after that. Yes.
So I know you were just doing the books, but how did you feel about that job? Was it cool being around all the unique stuff? Did you just like not care? Was it?
It was cool being around the stuff, but it wasn't cool being around her and her boyfriend.
Yeah.
honest.
So the family problems were
Yes,
a big issue with
yes.
the hobby shop.
You can ask your dad about that. He knows that.
Yeah, he just hated being around her. And
I
her
know, and
boyfriend.
he used to hide under the table and everything just to avoid things.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the hobby shop. you
No,
would
no,
hide it.
at home if she came over.
Oh my God! Like under the little
Yeah.
table curtain. Oh, that's
Ask him.
that's some
Ask
family
him.
drama. I'll have to ask him that one
Yeah.
after. That's adorable.
Yeah.
Okay. So you sold out of the hobby shop,
Yeah.
pet shop, gift
Mhm.
shop, which is hilarious to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then you opened your photo shop.
Yes, Blue Jay photo, yeah.
Okay. Did you immediately start with 2 locations, or did you
No,
expand to a second
Expanded
location?
to a second one after.
Was the first one in Drumheller, or was the
Yes.
first one in Hannah?
First one was in Drumheller.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that one, you were doing the books again. What
Well, I
did
was
you-
running it basically too because Gary was at the pen still.
So on that question of
Yeah.
what you did specifically,
Yeah, everything.
you everything.
I would order, I would do books and clean and everything.
Okay, so this one also we say it, there is someone in the chat. What does he say? His name is Soita. That's an interesting name. Oh no, that's the old one. Kawaii Blossom. Kawaii Blossom. Nice to see you. So someone, random internet one, a new one. They say hi. They say hi, Grandma. You're a popular one today.
Hi.
So you ran everything at the Photoshop. You did the ordering. You did the sales.
Yeah.
You did the bookkeeping.
Yeah.
You did the entire shebang. Was this one? He wanted to. He was the photographer.
Yes, he was.
Did he
yeah.
pick up the photography before starting the Photoshop?
Yes, I think he did it the odd one. Yes. Yeah.
So then, did he pitch we should open a Photoshop after he became a
Yeah.
photographer?
Yeah.
Was it immediately after closing the hobby shop, or was it?
Yes, it was immediately because we had to sign something that we wouldn't carry the same items that the hobby shop had.
She made you sign a non-complete
Yes.
cause? That's how bitchy she was?
Yeah, well, you said it.
I can't believe signing a non-compete clause on a hobby shop is wild. I guess there's such
Because
close...
we had gift shop as well with the Photoshop.
Oh, she
So
didn't
see,
like that?
No, because she didn't want us to have, like I said, the same things that she had, see, so,
That's kind of silly and ridiculous.
well, no comment.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
can rant and rave on that part.
So you handled everything at that place. You started it as because he was doing the photography. The only additional question I have about the specifics, since I was a photographer myself, is did you have a dark room?
No, we didn't. No, we
Where-
sent all of our stuff to Calgary.
Oh, you would just send his film rolls
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
developed.
Yeah, yeah, everything went to
Interesting.
Calgary. Even we took in other people's films too and sent it to Calgary.
Interesting.
Yeah, oh yeah, at that time, yeah.
I'm surprised at that because I feel like you could have made I guess you wouldn't have had the people or person to be able to develop it.
No,
'Cause it
that's
was
right,
just
we
you
wouldn't
running
have
it.
time, yeah, right. No, we sent it all to Calgary.
The freestyle question then is also what type of you stocked Canon, Nikon.
Yeah, all of it, Pentax, Olympus, all the common ones at that time. Yeah, and projectors, slide projectors.
Yeah, I have some Kodak slide projectors in my stock right now for my eBay
Yeah.
store. And someone asks the Kawaii Blossom, all the Elvis everywhere. They love all the Elvis, and they asked if this is her home. This is actually it is. She lives in
Yeah.
the basement.
Yeah.
But this is her restaurant, the Old Grouches. And I know you're just tuning in now, so we're trying to get a detailed story through this interview of all of the jobs she's had through her life. So we'll probably be on for about 45 minutes more, just as we nail in all the jobs she's had, how she started them, and why she did them. So we're at like 18, 19 now.
Okay.
How do you like my journalist voice? I'm keeping the story.
Very
going.
good.
Thank you, thank you. So, Photoshop, we got all those details. So you had all the inventory. It's very interesting there. You ran the front. You did the ordering. You told me before that you were kind of just like BSing. You just get what's good, and then say, yeah, this one works well.
Yeah, because I didn't know much about it. Gary knew more.
Was there a lot of hobbyist interest in?
Yes, there was at that time, because at that time, it was in the 80s, I believe, just before the recession, and we had a lot of oil workers around, and they would often come in and buy cameras and.
The oil workers
Yeah.
liked buying cameras.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
know why?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Maybe as gifts or whatever, but no, a lot that we sold a lot. But then that's why we closed up eventually, because that's when we had the recession in the 1980s there, and people just weren't buying.
Okay, so that answers the second question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you ended up closing the
Yeah.
photography shops just out of the recession.
Yeah.
There was no family drama.
No,
revolving
there was
around
no
it.
drama on that. It's just the business wasn't there.
So how did you feel about running the Photoshop? Did you like it? Was it
I was
a
okay
weird
with
experience?
it. There again, it was people. I
Did
liked
you feel
it.
like you were forced to learn all this stuff, or you were just like okay with learning it
I'm
all?
okay with learning.
Okay. Yeah, you just enjoy the variety of
Yeah,
experiences.
yeah, that's right. So I'm okay.
And then both locations, you just closed them at once?
Yes. No, the Hannah we closed first because it was really quiet there in Hannah.
Okay.
We weren't there that long, maybe a year or so in the mall,
Okay.
and we closed because it was just not busy.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So then, we've knocked down hobby shop, we've knocked down photo shop. Next is the golf course.
Mhm.
This is again, Grandpa was all working at the penitentiary
Yes,
during
it was.
this.
Yeah.
So the golf course, you guys only ran the kitchen at the golf course.
The clubhouse.
You ran the entire
Yes,
clubhouse.
clubhouse,
So
yeah.
you ran the bar and the.
Yes, we did.
Okay, but
Yeah.
there was an admin at the golf course that handled the memberships and whatnot.
Oh, yes, we didn't.
Okay,
No, we didn't.
so then
We
you,
leased the clubhouse is what we did.
you leased the
Yes.
clubhouse. Oh, you weren't like under contract by the golf club to run it. You leased it
Yeah.
to run your
To
own
run,
business.
yeah,
out of
we
it.
had our own business.
And it was
Yeah.
just called
Yeah.
the Dinosaur Valley
Yeah, Dinosaur
Clubhouse.
Trail.
Dinosaur Trail
Yeah.
Clubhouse.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Gopher Catering Kitchen.
Oh, we
or anything?
catered, but we didn't call ourselves
But
that.
since you were
But we-
leasing it,
yeah.
you were allowed to run the catering.
Yes,
out of
oh
it.
yeah. Yeah,
So that's
we
what you
catered.
used as the commercial
Yes.
kitchen for the
Yeah.
catering.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then, when you were at the golf course, what did you do specifically?
There again, I didn't do the ordering. I think Gary did the ordering, but I looked after customers. I would cook if I had to and be the waitress and cleaning again. There's everything again.
So you were very hands-on doing the full service
Yeah.
as well as the admin. So did you do
Yes.
the bookkeeping
yeah,
and everything
oh, yeah,
as well?
Still did, yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
he did the ordering, you did the bookkeeping,
that's
you
right.
helped out with
Yeah.
the front of house when
Yeah.
needed,
Mm-hmm.
as well as ran the bar and
Yeah,
just
that's
general
right. Anything that has to be
business owner
done.
stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
How many staff members did you have?
Oh, well, we had both kids, plus we had Mo. Oh, maybe 4 or 5, counting.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
especially when they had tournaments. There again, during the weekday it was quiet, but during tournaments we needed help.
so you closed the Photoshop because of the recession. I presume this was still kind of during the recession that you took this over.
Yes, yeah.
So how did you guys get that? What came up that made you
I
guys
think they
want
were
to lease it?
advertising, looking for somebody to run the clubhouse, so Grandpa just applied and got it.
You just applied to run it?
Yeah,
Okay.
so leased it or whatever.
And then that one, how did you guys end up getting out of that golf course contract? Why did you have to leave the golf course?
Because they thought that we were making lots of money and they wanted to do it themselves, so they didn't want us back.
Ah, so classic like envy. They saw you guys doing
Yeah,
well and
that's
they're
right.
like, oh,
They
we
thought
can
they
run
could
it.
make, that's right, that they could run it themselves and make all the money.
And how did that go? Like, did they end up keeping they tanked after it, or did they do okay after they kicked you out?
I don't really know.
Oh, you just didn't care? You just kept
Nope.
it moving?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you look like you're also being coy and you don't want to
Mhm, I
shit
am.
talk. Okay, that's fine.
Some of them are my customers, so
All right.
I'll just be quiet.
I'll respect that. I'll respect that.
Mm-hmm.
So then, you sort of answered the why. The why was because of the recession. You closed the photo shops, and grandfather saw the opportunity, and so you guys popped on
Yeah.
it. So how did you feel about that? Did you like, since this was kind of like your first, that one would have been your first restaurant, and now you've
Yes.
done it for
Mhm.
40 years.
Yeah.
So how did you like your first introduction to the service industry?
I was okay with it. There again, I'm okay.
The same thing. You're
Yeah.
just like, it's a new thing. I'm
Yeah,
okay learning
yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
yeah, but you liked dealing with the people,
Yeah.
and if it was your first restaurant type experience,
Mhm.
what was your favorite part about it as something new? Was it the serving? Was it the bartending? What part did you like best?
I like the serving.
You liked the serving?
Yeah.
Do you feel it came naturally, or did you have a bit of a learning curve?
I didn't think I did. Maybe other people did. I don't know. But I thought I was catching on okay
Okay.
of what to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe people didn't
That's not
think I
for me
did,
to
but-
say in
yeah,
that
I
case.
don't know. I just do what I figure I have to do. And you forgot one thing that we'll get to for a couple of years ago. I was in the movie.
Oh, you want to add, like you were in the Grouches in the movie?
Yeah. See, that's, I got
I
paid
guess
for that.
I can add actor. We'll add
I know.
actor just for you.
Actress, yep.
Actress in a movie.
If you look up on the internet under my name, it does have actress.
Yeah, you
someplace.
have IMDb. I know, I found it before.
Did you? Yeah, I have. So I just thought of it now. When
Yeah, and when my dad comes later, I'll show you guys. But another thing I have to hopefully give you guys a little bit of financial relief is I'm going to try to list this restaurant on set location websites as well.
And what does that do, though?
So that more movies will pay you to film here, and then that's so you can get money off of filming movies and not have to fucking work.
Well, yeah, that would be great. I like that. I like that job. I didn't mind that at all.
That's what I was thinking. I found
Good.
the province of Alberta has
Okay.
a free website for it,
Oh, okay.
where you can just list your set locations in Alberta, and then I will find all the other private ones and put it up there.
That'd be perfect.
I figured I may as well. If it costs no money, then I'll try, and that's
Try it.
whatever. It's a few extra bucks.
Yeah.
So you guys
No,
don't have
I don't
to worry.
mind.
And then same thing, if Dad's here, then I can.
Well, that's right. If I have
do
help.
I can do the relay
Yeah.
with them, and then I'll.
But
get
not
Dad.
only that, I can do more if I have help. I was hesitant because when you do one person, it's hard to do everything.
Yeah.
And to deliver if they want to deliver it, and
And then I was conversing with the guy, and there was a big in between, so I get it.
Yeah. Anyways, go
Yeah,
ahead.
of course. How you felt about it? I feel like we covered that. And then it was so during the time that you had the golf course, that's when you started your fish and chips shack, fish and chips trailer. Dad was saying it was like a trailer, it was
Yes,
mobile.
it was a little mobile, small trailer. It
He-
was in between, I think, the golf course and that. But
My father did say it was like the first mobile, kind of like the first food truck in town. That,
yeah,
'cause you guys
but
could
we
move it.
didn't do it. The guy that owned the trailer had it a year before, but he didn't
Okay.
want to do it the following year, so we there again leased it off.
And that was the Blue Whale
Yes,
Fish
it
and
was
Chips.
called the Blue Whale. Yeah.
And it still has a reputation. When I was at the hospital with my father, that Peter guy
Oh yeah.
was like, "Oh yeah, someone just the other day was talking about how great those fish and
Yeah,
chips
I
were
know.
from
They
that
wish
trailer."
I had it here too, but I don't have the space because I need a
You need
separate deep fryer.
Yeah.
Remember?
You wouldn't be able to keep up with
no,
it, yeah.
no.
So when you were running the fish and chip shack,
Mhm.
you basically made your kids run it.
We were there in that fish and chip and the kids. Or Jay, your dad is the only one that ran the ice cream place and the Hoodoo.
Okay.
I don't think Brenda was around that much at all there.
So we'll get there after.
Yeah.
So what did you do specifically for the fish and chips?
Just help out there, nothing specific. Just to,
Just give a hand.
Yeah.
Did you run the books for that as well?
well, yeah, pretty well because I've done books for everything pretty well. So I must have. I can't remember.
How did you find all the time to run all these books?
I don't know.
The bookkeeping is the part of the
I
math
know.
problem that I'm like, oh man,
A lot
God,
like
you must
me,
have
I
just
haven't
spent
done
every
my
night writing.
year end yet for this
Okay.
business. So.
So it's kind of similar. You were just like trying to get it done when you could.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you kind of outlined it, but I'll double check if there's any more specifics. How did you get the fish and chip shack? That was because the guy wanted to sell it, saw the opportunity. You guys just took it?
Yeah, we just leased it for a year, because I think he sold the trailer after that or something. Something happened, so we just had it for one summer, but it was good.
Okay.
We even wrapped the fish up in newspaper too.
That's what the guy was
Did he?
saying when he was
Okay,
telling
he
the story.
remembers that,
Yeah,
eh?
he's like, and everyone, if he actually used newspaper, so it was authentic, yada yada. Why did you guys end up leaving or getting rid of the fish and chips?
Well, I think he just wanted to sell the trailer, and we just didn't want to buy it. So the guy that owned the trailer,
Oh, you were like lease. Okay,
we were just
so he was
leasing.
just like, I need to.
yeah, he wanted to get rid of it.
Were you guys paying him rent to use the
Oh
trailer?
yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And how did you feel about that one? Was it just like, oh shit, another restaurant?
Yeah, just another one.
Okay, that's fair.
We also sold burgers there and chili and stuff too. It wasn't just fish and
Oh, I
chips.
thought it was just fish
No,
and
no,
chips.
we had burgers there and we had chili there.
So, and Grandpa just had his fish and chips recipe from school, or did he end up like picking it up from some British guy?
I'm not sure where he picked it up, but it was a kind of like a British style
Yeah.
fish and chips.
It's
so.
the classic. That's how
Yeah.
I forget the recipe, and that's how
Yeah.
I look it up. I just look up traditional
Yeah.
fish and chips.
Yeah, so I don't know where he got it from. I couldn't say. So.
Okay. I guess last is, where would you get the fish? Fish from Calgary?
It must have been. I can't really remember. He ordered it, so
Okay.
I can't remember, but it had to have been. It was cod.
Yeah, cod
Yeah.
is always better.
Yeah.
I don't mind a halibut, but
yeah,
the cod
it was
is good.
Yeah, and I can't remember, but it had to come from Calgary.
So as you were running the fish and chips shack, fish and chips trailer, you had the Shake Shack.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Hoodoo Shake.
Yeah, Hoodoo Shack or something.
Just the Hoodoo Shack.
Yeah.
And my dad primarily ran it.
Yes. Yeah.
But what did you do for that? Did you keep the books only?
Probably, I can't remember because we had to order ice cream for him all the time.
So you don't exactly even remember
No,
what
I
you
don't
had
remember
to do with
doing
the
much
shake.
of that. I was more in the trailer than.
you were in the
ice cream.
trailer and just told your kid like
Yeah,
fucking good luck.
That's right.
Make some milkshakes.
That's right. Make some money.
Yeah.
There's your freezer. There's your ice cream, and get to work.
Yeah, good luck.
Milkshakes. He made milkshakes. What if he had a milkshake machine?
Who
there.
built the Hoodoo Hut? Who built the thing for it?
Oh, that was around for years, and I don't know where it is now. If it's on the golf course or what. It was. I don't know who built it or where it came from.
Okay, that's a
Couldn't
funny
tell you.
one. That's
No.
a funny one. Where'd the hoodoo come from?
Yeah. No, I couldn't tell you, and it got moved after. So, but I'm not sure if it's at the golf course. I'm not.
Oh, it's got to
100%.
be destroyed by now. There's no
I
way
don't
that
know.
it's still functional.
I don't know. I couldn't tell
Um,
you. You'd have to look it up. Information under Drumheller or something. I don't know.
So that kind of answers like how you got it. That it was just already there.
Yeah, it was already there, and we knew people at the Badlands Motel. It was on their property.
So you're just like, can we
Yeah.
put my son
Yeah.
to work in it?
Yeah.
And you, I presume, left that just at the same time you didn't renew or didn't buy the fish and
No,
chips trailer.
no.
You're just like, I'm out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Why? Was it just like a creative idea?
Well, it's just a summer thing, so
You're like, let's just expand a little
Yeah,
bit and
yeah.
I'll add.
we just you can't make enough in the summer to live on, so just
Okay. Fair enough. So you're just trying to supplement even a little bit more
mhm,
income.
Yeah.
And how did you feel about that? It sounds like you were very hands off. You were just
Yeah,
like,
I
go
wasn't
ahead,
that.
Jay.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. Mhm.
Was there any shake that you remember? Did he make any special shake? Was there like a strawberry one
There
that
was
you
strawberry
really liked?
ones. I remember that because I liked strawberry milkshakes. I remember that, and I can't remember what all. Does he remember what type he made?
Probably, I bet you.
Yeah.
He was bitching about how hard he had to work in both of those.
Yeah,
to me,
right,
So
yeah.
I'm sure he does
Yeah.
remember. He was telling me.
I think he had chocolate and vanilla, and I can't remember what else. But
Shamrock.
could be.
Mhm. Okay, so all these you were running at the same time. You were working. You guys had the golf course.
Mhm.
You had the fish and chips trailer.
Mhm.
You had the Shake Shack.
Mhm.
And then you were also running catering out of the golf course commercial
Yeah.
kitchen.
Mhm.
And this was called Go for Catering.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I know you guys did a couple of notable movies, which we'll touch on. That was like Running Brave,
Yeah.
the Superman movies, and something else. Dad did give me the name.
Mhm.
What was it? Superman, Running Brave, and Firebird 2025 is what he said.
Could be. I don't remember that.
Which is also funny. They do the futuristic movies and say 2025, and it's 2025 now, and it's not that crazy. But so Go for Catering.
Mhm.
I presume was just started out of like, we've got this commercial kitchen, we may as well cater as well.
There again, it was Gary's idea because he wanted to do catering. But there again, it wasn't busy enough to do catering. See, he always wanted to get out of the pen. So he was always thinking of things to do.
Okay, so that he was trying to build an escape
Yes,
plan from
yes,
the
that's
salary
right. That's
job.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
So what did you do for the catering specifically?
I didn't do that much. He did more, but
You just kind of kept the books again?
and like I said, if I would go if they were like I went to Edmonton with them once, and helped them there with the catering and help
Okay.
them set up and clean up, and he did the cooking
So
mostly.
you gave a helping hand when
yes,
necessary
basically,
as well.
yes, with the catering, yes.
And so again, you got that job because my grandfather just wanted to start another
Yeah,
business.
yeah. He wanted to do catering.
And I presume you guys left that job when you guys didn't renew the lease, when you got kicked out of the golf course.
Yeah, but we still did catering when we opened up the Grouches, though.
Did you do catering all the way from golf course through Legion to the Grouches?
Yep,
Or-
basically.
okay.
Yeah, yeah,
All under the same name?
yes.
You
Yep.
were always Go for Catering?
Yeah.
And I guess, yeah, because you always had access to a larger kitchen.
Yeah, that's
so-
right. We had to have
Okay.
kitchen to cater out of. Yeah.
Um,
We still do it, but it's not called Gopher Catering.
yeah.
It's just
yeah.
Grouches
So
now.
catering kind of continued.
Yeah, but we still do catering.
Kind of continued.
I did it Christmas time.
Yeah, exactly. It just, yeah, you may as well just call it from the Grouches.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So then we moved from there, the catering.
Mhm.
How did you feel about it? You were just like, okay,
Yeah, that's right.
It's another thing.
Basically, I
Let's
just
go.
went along. I don't know.
carry me away.
Yeah. Okay, if that's what I have to do, I'll do it.
So then, just briefly before we move on to the other job you were juggling at the same time. So these 5 jobs, the last being the curling club,
Mhm.
but the catering when you did the movies.
Mhm.
I know my grandfather outfitted a school bus as a
Mhm.
mobile
Yeah.
kitchen.
Mhm. For the movies. Yeah.
Was there any other? Did you help deal with some of the movie studio, like execs? Were you like the liaison when they were
No.
calling?
No.
He handled all of
He
the business
handled all
regarding
that. Yeah. No, I didn't.
Okay.
No.
Were you on set? Did you help serve any of the stuff?
Yes, I did. Yes.
You like set it up on big tables?
Yeah, yeah, I would
stuff
help
like that.
serve. Yeah,
You
I
guys
did that
had-
and clean up after and stuff. I've done that.
Did
yeah.
you have folding tables or how
Yes,
did
we
you
did
serve?
because we had to put them in the bus.
Yeah. So the bus had the kitchen as well as all
Yes,
the
it did.
tables
It
and
had
all
the
the
stove,
setting.
everything. Yeah.
So that you could like pull up and set up
Yeah.
the entire
mhm,
kitchen.
Yeah.
It's very intriguing.
Yes, it
Was it a novel idea? Did he come up with the idea, or did he see it in a magazine?
Well, that I don't know. He came up with ideas all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know where they came from.
I see where I get that part
Yeah,
from.
that's
then,
right.
I'll admit
I
that.
don't know where they came from. So
Okay, so I'm cozy with that.
Mhm.
Then you ended up the curling club you would do during winters.
winter, yeah.
Okay. And so similar to the golf club,
Mhm.
you guys just ran the complete front of house and back of house.
Yes, yeah. The upstairs part, like he managed the how to work with the setting up of different things, and I was just basically upstairs in the bar.
Okay. Was it a kitchen there as well, or he was?
Yes, but we didn't have the kitchen. The other lady had the kitchen.
So he worked more on
He
events
just
and
managed
the club
like,
side
yes,
of it.
club side, yes, and I did the bar.
My dad mentioned that he hosted cash
Yeah.
bond.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's bad for my speech impediment. Cash bond
Yeah,
steals.
everything. Yeah, he looked after it all, and he'd set up schedules, and but I didn't. I just did the bar and sold those Nevada tickets and stuff like
That's
that.
funny. I wouldn't have. That's a tough mouthful for me with
Yeah.
my learning disabilities. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then you just ran the bar, ran the cash, ordered
Mm-hmm.
liquor, and by that point, because you're working at the golf course too, even though that was your
Summer.
first
Yeah.
restaurant job, you started to have a good idea of how to run a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You
Oh,
just
yeah.
picked up running a bar.
Yeah.
Did you read any
Nope.
books or magazines
Nope.
about it?
Nope.
You just figured it out.
Yeah.
Did you have a book for like cocktails or anything?
Oh
Did you-
yes, of course. I still use recipes sometimes.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's just
I
how
do.
you picked up all the
Yeah.
fancy cocktails. Because I imagine in that era, people were still ordering like old fashions
Yeah.
and shit
Oh
like
yeah.
that.
No, we still have books.
What would you say was like one of the most popular drinks at the curling club?
Just the normal, nothing fancy, just beer and
Whiskey
your
on the
whis-
rocks?
Yeah, everything, just but nothing fancy there. No.
And no like old fashioned or no martini, like nothing too
No,
crazy.
There was martinis at the golf course. I remember
Okay.
one guy always ordering martinis, but no, not. at
So
the
you had to
curling
pick up
club.
learning how to do a shaker there too then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, we did that.
So then at the curling club,
Mhm.
how did you guys get that job at the curling club?
Somebody just asked us, being we were at the golf course, if we wanted to do it.
Run
for
it in the
winter.
winters?
Yeah.
And how did you end up leaving the curling club?
Legion asked us to run the Legion, so that was permanent. So
Yeah, took that offer
I
instead of a
took it, yeah.
temporary
yeah,
hookup.
so that's how the Legion asked.
And then evidently by this point in time, you would have known many people in town because you
That's
already
right.
ran the other shops.
That's right, we knew
you
them from
meet
all
all
over.
the people in the golf
Yeah,
course.
that's right. Yeah.
Okay, and you've developed a reputation for
Yeah.
catering.
Mhm.
All right. So the why was just to cover the wintertime bills, right? Okay. And how did you feel about the curling club, especially because you were just more so running the bar?
Yeah.
It sounds
Yeah,
like
that was okay. I enjoyed it up there.
you like the socialization
Yeah.
of running the bar.
Yeah, I didn't mind.
Yeah, you
I
just
won't
same
go
old,
into
same
what
old.
things used to be said or done, so.
Oh, what, it was a little bit of a rowdy one.
Yeah, there was some there,
Yeah,
yeah.
like, that's funny that the curling club was the rowdier of your jobs, huh?
And then this guy that was really rowdy with me sometimes came to see me last summer.
Yeah.
He remembers things.
So you were just having a hoot while you were
Yeah,
there.
I
then,
do,
huh?
and I just still remember some of the laughs we had.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, cool. So you felt like, it sounds like you felt like you have good memories. You
Oh,
felt like
yeah.
it was a
Oh,
good
yeah.
time.
Of
It was
all
a
of
big
them,
party.
yes, it was. It was the
Okay.
party time.
So
Yeah.
then we're after this, we have the Legion, and we're kind of in the last section
No,
now.
I thought we missed the welcome wagon.
I figured I was going to do
Oh,
Welcome
okay then.
Wagon before
Okay then.
Legion,
Okay
which
then.
I will actually, I will make a
Whenever,
note.
but,
So
yeah.
that quick step,
and then
just
yeah, you did mention my parties I had for different.
yeah, the
org-
parties I was just going to touch on the
Yeah,
end since you
that's
said
fine.
you did them the entire time.
Yeah, oh yeah, whenever I had time.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me, can you have a party at your house? Yeah, okay.
So we made a good chunk. We've only got about like 15, 20 minutes more talking to get through the rest of these stories.
Okay,
Do you need another drink? I see your drink is empty. Could
No,
I
that's
toss-
okay.
You're okay?
and I'll have to run to the bathroom otherwise.
Yeah.
So I'll wait till I'm done and then I'll have something.
I'm getting a beer right quick,
Okay.
and we can finish this up then. Okay. So then to iterate again for the internet, I'm visiting my grandmother right now to help support with the restaurant. My father is in the hospital, and we're actually taking him out afterwards so that he can have some home cooked food as well as visit here. He's got a new Cadillac of a wheelchair, so it's
Yeah.
kind of awesome that he can roll around a lot easier. So we're not particularly in a rush, but we're also not going to do the typical stream time. When this interview is kind of done, that's I'm going to call it for the day. If I have time tomorrow, I might pop on in the evening in the warehouse space downstairs as I clean it up because Dad
Yeah.
made it a fucking mess again. So
I know. That's why I say I have patience.
I'm gonna try to organize it again so it's not too chaotic. At least so it's our stuff is in sections again.
know.
So your jars are near your
I
stuff
know.
and his stuff is in a pile.
Yeah, well, everything's there. Your stuff, my stuff, and his stuff is all in that one room. That's what I said.
I'm messy too.
I want him to get his health back, and maybe he'll get some work done.
Yeah, I'm messy. I'm not the most organized, but I at least like having all of the things in like one section. And that's he just like, well, just throw it on top.
It's all over the place.
Like I can't be too critical because I'd be a hypocrite because I'm messy, but I at least make sure it's like, okay, all my stuff is in this
Area.
So that's a topic for a different day. So that's the one I wanted to start with then is the welcome wagon.
Okay.
The welcome wagon you kind of picked up after all of these or during?
Just during, I can't remember. I was doing other things too, just like the parties, welcome wagon, because I just did it when I had spare time, like on a weekend or evening or.
So specifically for the welcome wagon, you would show up at people's houses. You'd bring like gift bags of all
Yes.
the businesses
Yeah.
and
Information on the town. I don't even know if welcome wagon still exists. Do you?
no, but it's a good idea for a small town like
I
that. You
think
brought
so.
it up.
I
was like,
loved
didn't
it too.
think-
You met new people and you gave them information about the town and you gave them different gift certificates from different businesses and
It's probably smarter than focusing on the tourists, but then we'll get into a rabbit hole about how
Yeah.
this city is managed.
yeah. So I enjoyed it, but I don't know.
How did you get that job?
Through Darlene Rackety. She got it, and her and I were both doing it.
So she just asked you to join
Yeah,
in.
she asked me to join her, and because it was getting too much for her.
So it was technically a job with the city.
No, it wasn't the city. Welcome Wagon paid you. You had to.
Oh, it was like a private company.
Yeah, it was a private company. It was from Toronto, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, you'll have to look it up if it's still around. And yeah, you'd send them all the people you went to see, and they'd pay you so much for every visit.
was it a reasonable amount at that time, or was
I
it
can't
like
really
kinda
remember,
like
but
a-
it couldn't have been too bad if I did it because
Yeah.
it cost me gas money and everything to travel. You know.
That's fair. That's fair.
No, I enjoyed it.
And why? How did you end up leaving the welcome wagon job?
There again, I think either the town or them, somebody just didn't want to do it anymore.
yeah,
I can't
whatever.
remember, but that's why.
Uh,
I think it was Welcome Wagon itself that said they weren't doing it anymore or something.
That's fair. That's interesting. I didn't know it's a private company.
Yeah, it was out of Toronto. I'm sure it was Toronto.
So you said the why with the Darlene Rackety as well.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
how did you feel about that? You said you rather enjoyed it because you were meeting
Yeah,
new people and
That's
stuff.
right. I loved that. No, I didn't mind going visiting people.
Okay. Yeah, and it's a different time, so it wasn't as weird to like show up to someone's house and
Well, that's
say hi.
what I'm
yada, yada.
saying, like I said last night, about visiting single people and stuff.
Yeah, that you're a little. Yeah.
I don't know if I do it now, but I
That's-
mean,
that's
at
fair.
that time it didn't bother me.
Okay.
But things were different then, you know.
They were. It was a different era for
Yeah.
sure. So then, golf course. We said some drama. Don't want to touch base on it. Yeah, the fish and chip shop. The guy you didn't want to buy it off of him. So then the Shake Shack also closed. You did continue doing the catering. You were stuck with the curling club, but then you got offered a new job that you ended up taking, which was running the restaurant at the Legion.
Yeah, full times. And Gary managed the whole Legion.
Okay,
He managed the whole Legion, yeah.
including memberships and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, everything. Well, no, not memberships. The executive did the memberships,
Okay.
but he did the other.
And by that point, it was the 80s.
Yes, sometimes in the 80s there, later.
Probably a
80s,
little
yes.
later
Yeah.
because you mentioned the recession. The recession would
Yeah.
have been early.
And then that was at the camera shop, yeah.
Okay, so then you took that over, and what did you do specifically for the Legion Fine Dining?
I was just kind of in charge of the waitresses.
Okay.
And there again.
So you ran the front of house a little
Yeah, I
bit
kind
more.
of ran the front. And there again, like I said, I was called Hawkeyes because I would give the staff heck if the cutlery wasn't clean or if the glasses weren't clean, because I could walk in and spot it.
And especially because you were fine dining, you were
That's
even
right.
more picky about
That's
it.
right, because the tables were set, you know, that we had tablecloths and everything, and the tables were all set, ready to go, so I
It
wanted
was
to
white
sparkle.
tablecloths.
No,
as
we had
well.
blue,
You had blue, okay.
blue tablecloths, they were all blue.
Blue tablecloths.
Yeah.
Wine, or did they get liqueurs?
Everything. There was
Everything?
wine, everything.
Whatever they ordered.
Yeah, whatever they ordered.
Because I thought it might be the a la carte, like Grandpa might have made the menu. They
No.
could still order even though it's fine
Everything, no,
Okay.
anything.
So
Yeah.
you managed the front of house, you did all that, you helped with the
Yeah.
front of house staff.
Mhm.
You guys, you said you got that job just because someone offered after you left the golf course.
Well, you know, at the curling rink, yeah. They knew we weren't going back to the golf course, yes.
So they came and offered
Yes,
you that.
yes, they did. Somebody on the executive.
And then, again, I know it was a bit of drama, so we don't have to go into details because I know you like to maintain the privacy.
Mhm.
But you left that job because of some more drama.
Yes, it was a lot of drama because your grandpa got sick. That's why we left the Legion. That's when he first had his heart attack.
Oh, so he had his first heart attack,
Yes,
and they
at the
weren't.
Legion, yeah,
And then they're okay.
yeah, yeah,
All right, we won't get too dramatic around that.
yeah.
So the why of having that job was, again, you were saying as you're working at the curling club, it wasn't covering the bases all that much.
No, no.
Okay. And how did you feel about that? Because now that would have been your.
I didn't like the drama at the Legion, I'll put it that way.
You didn't like
It
the
was
drama,
no-
but how did you feel about the more fancy pants atmosphere?
Oh, I like that. That was no problem, but
You
it
didn't
was just
mind it?
issues that I did not like.
Okay, that's fair. I won't push you further on
No,
that one.
I won't say much more either.
Yeah. So, farmers markets
Mhm.
started while you were at the Legion, or after.
No, after the Legion, when we were let go, in order to make money, until we opened up the Grouches, we had to have something.
Okay.
We didn't have nothing.
So when you started attending the farmers markets,
Mm-hmm.
did you have a business name for that, or were you just?
We
You're
could
just
have
doing
used
it.
Go for Catering, maybe. I can't
Okay.
remember. I can't remember.
So
Yeah.
you'd started doing the farmers markets
Yep.
after you lost the Legion.
Yeah.
Did you know you had the intention of opening another restaurant, or was this just another of Gary's
No, he was
ideas?
thinking of maybe we'll open our own, but we have to find a spot first and everything, see?
So it was just kind of like an intentional intermediary
Yeah,
job.
he just said we'll have to find something, because nobody would hire him because of his heart issues. He looked for jobs first, and nobody would hire him.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because of his heart.
In the modern era, too, you could, if it was, you can't do that anymore.
That's right, but they did. Oh, you might have a heart attack in my kitchen, and blah, blah, blah.
Fucking
Yeah.
people suck.
Yeah, so anyways, that's why we opened So that's why it took a few months before we found a spot, before we found equipment. We were very, very fortunate. He knew a lot of people when he worked at the Pan that they would sell us equipment on credit to get going. You know,
That's
it
nice.
was, and we had a good banker at that time, and we were just thankful that how we started was unbelievable.
So what did you do specifically for the farmers markets? What was your contributions to the farmers markets?
I baked all day.
You just did all the baking?
I did the baking, yeah.
So this is when you picked up your side of being more involved in the kitchen.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Because then otherwise you were front of house primarily for a lot of these. And I know you knew baking from high school, as you've told me previously, in your home economics class. But did you pick up some of the baking techniques from Grandpa, or how
Yes,
did
I did.
you?
Yeah, it was him. Yeah.
That's how you learned more?
I learned most of it from him.
Did you still, or let's not put it in modern terms, just so that we can maintain some anonymity on stuff, but at that time, did you order loaves, or did you make all your dough from scratch?
It was a little bit of both.
Okay.
Both.
So, farmers markets, you're saying are in between transitional phase. That's kind of how you got it.
Yes.
You left them once you started the Old Grouches,
Yes.
your new business. So you just stopped going. You're like, fuck
Yeah,
it.
of course. We didn't have time. We were here
Okay.
at the Grouches all day long.
So we answered the why then already. And how did you feel about the farmers markets? Did you like the interacting with people?
Yeah, it was good. We didn't mind. We traveled around the area and stuff, like Hannah and Three Hills.
And did you like baking otherwise, or how did you feel about taking on the baking and doing all this new stuff?
There I go again. I had to do it, to do something, to make money, so I did it.
Okay.
There again, I just accepted it. Okay, if I
Okay.
want money to pay bills, well, I better get baking.
New skill for Fran.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So then that's good. You answered that. We're on to the last batch. We're finally on the last batch. We got the last 3 things coming up. The biggest is the place that we're sitting in now. Okay, the Old Grouches.
Yes.
And you told me you specifically got that name one day from being in the car with him and calling
Yeah,
him an Old
That's
Grouch.
right. I called him an old grouch.
And then you guys ran with that name.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, what did you do specifically for this? You ran everything. Because by then, now you've been doing the baking, you've ran the front of house for fine dining,
Yeah.
you've ran a bar, you've got a pretty comprehensive skill set of the service industry.
Yeah, and I do promotions and I do parties and everything.
So that when you were working at the Grouches, then you specifically covered everything. You
Yeah.
started taking on the
Started,
baking,
yep.
the everything. You just front of house, back of house. It was the two of you kind of more together rather than him just doing the
That's
kitchen
right.
stuff.
Yeah.
Is that when you started getting your hands in on the ordering as well?
A little bit, but he did most of it at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how you got it, as you said, you had the intentional choice after leaving the Legion. You were working at the farmers markets with the desire and plan to save up to open another
Yes,
restaurant.
right.
And I guess you've never left that job. 'Cause
No,
you're
I'm still here.
Still here.
39 years later, I'm still here.
Grandpa
Yeah.
left it at a different time.
Exactly. He left
He's
it.
still volunteering at the hospital.
He left me being the old grouch and the cook.
Yeah. It's a good thing you built up all that experience so that you
That's
could take
right,
it
so
over.
I could take it over.
That's adorable.
Yeah, that's right.
So the why, the why of the Old Grouches, I presume, is then, Gary always wanted to do something. He always had a new idea. He always wanted to be independent, and then, as you said, he couldn't get a job
Nobody would
because
hire
of his.
him because of his heart issue.
So then that's why he wanted to start.
Yes.
You both wanted to start
Yeah.
it. At this point, was it something that you would say you were more involved in? If you're like, yes, let's do this, or was it just still another? You're
It's
like,
still another one. You'll go along with it.
yeah, okay, okay.
And here I am, going along with it.
That's funny. I was thinking maybe by that point you're like, okay, I don't mind it anymore.
No, it's
You're
still.
just like, all right, fuck, okay, a restaurant.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, that, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you see me lean forward, I'm just like, it notes it. So like the same way I was able to make that pickle post, I
Yeah.
can go through it afterwards and it will have all those little convo points already pulled out for me.
Oh,
So when I press that button, it's like clipping it so that I'm already set up to post it after.
okay.
So the old grouches, what we did specifically, how you got it, why is covered. I mean, you're still here.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it after all these years?
I'm just amazed that I'm still here.
That it's still kicking?
It's still kicking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's maybe, like, I feel like one of these other interview sessions will have to be just purely about the history of this place, because I
Yeah,
can't,
'cause
I don't
there
think
is
we
a
can
lot.
elaborate
Yeah,
40
right.
years
Yeah.
in
No, it's,
enough time. That's
we have
a
to
whole,
go through our book and then we can
That's
tell
also-
stories.
One day I'm gonna make an art gallery out of that somehow.
yeah.
That one day in the future, when I'm old and I have more financial freedom, that's
I
maybe
got a
scan each
bunch
page.
of pictures in my phone, my camera too. I haven't developed yet since you were last took me, I think.
Yeah, it's like a history of community development. Like you could
Yeah,
make
it
some
is.
fancy, rich city people would gladly pay to see that in a gallery. And there's so
Probably.
many stories in there.
Oh yeah, there's lots of stories around here. Yeah.
Okay, so you feel pretty good about that, and now we're on to the two more esoteric ones, and then we're out for the day.
Okay.
I'm gonna go pick up my father,
Yeah.
and then
have to
maybe
go.
next weekend we'll do the Grouch's history or something. I'll think about it. I need some time. We've been so busy.
Yeah, I know.
don't
we've
have
got
time to
lots
do. I don't have time to put my creative brain to stuff.
Yeah,
So if
oh,
I
I
get
know.
spare time to think, then I'll try to process that. But at the Grouches a few years ago, you were an actress in a movie.
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Yeah, which is awesome. You can look up Fran on IMDb. I think you're under Fran Nargang and not Fran
Yes.
Yanu.
Yeah. Oh no, not Yanu. Nargang. Yeah.
So for the actress, what did you do specifically?
I was a waitress. I looked after an astronaut
Which
on
was
in the movie called Viking.
Yeah.
From Montreal.
That was super cute.
Yeah.
And it was like
that was my normal self, I was told.
And it was an art house movie, so it was like a little trippy and esoteric. And I did find it funny because we had some of the other country folks here, and they were just like not cluing in. But
Yeah.
Grandma here actually kind of followed the plot pretty
Yeah.
good. I was
Oh, yes.
I was impressed after. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, so this was this. I was like, oh wow, you actually.
And
I was impressed.
they had my place for what, 3 days or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
So we can skip the how did you get it and how it left because it's a movie.
Well,
It's
it was
just,
by a
is what it is.
customer walking in.
Yeah. And how did you feel about that? Was that fun?
Oh, I loved it. I would do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've noticed even through working with you on these that you have really good natural camera presence,
Yeah.
so I'm not
Well,
surprised.
that's
by
what they told me. You're natural.
that. Yeah, you're really good at, you're really natural, you're really good at the communication on
Yeah.
mic, so I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
Okay, then finally is the one last thing you did while you're doing all of these different jobs. You were hosting clothing parties and Tupperware parties. Okay, so it sounds redundant. That's why I'm hesitating. But like, what did you do specifically for those parties?
Just phone people, get people to come over, and I would make lunch for them, and that was about it. It wasn't really hard work. It was just that you phoned a bunch of people and got them to come over, and you served their lunch, and they would order stuff, and then you'd get a certain amount of product by having the party.
And clothing, evidently for you, Tupperware, would you use for the restaurant or for the house with the kids?
Both,
Okay.
yeah. But I don't even know if they exist anymore, those parties.
Tupperware is the only one that does.
Does it?
Tupperware is the only one that does.
The clothing, I can't remember what the name of it was now. But
I'm sure there's probably some odd brand out there
Yeah.
that still does the clothing ones,
Yeah.
but not really anymore.
yeah.
How did you get into those? Was that just through the local community?
Yeah, the local people would come in and ask me if I wanted to host a party. Because if you host, you'll get a certain amount of clothing, or you'll get a certain amount of Tupperware, or whatever, you know.
Okay.
So, yeah. So
And-
I'd say sure. I didn't mind.
It's okay. So the why is then also pretty evident. You kind of answered it there. And how did you feel about doing those jobs? Did you like
Those were
that?
fine. I don't mind. I enjoy having things like that.
Okay. That's fair. So then we're gonna summarize and then we'll close out for the day. Then I'll go get my father.
Okay, you go get your
How
father.
do you feel about this interview as a whole? Do you feel comfortable? You feel like you covered everything?
I think so. Unless we did miss something, but if we did, we did. It's been a lot to cover, so
That's
we might have missed something, but
I'm just trying to get a comprehensive history of Fran so that I can stitch these all together one day, or I'm definitely going to make a video out of this afterwards. And then probably have on screen the little notes of all the jobs so that we can giggle at how many
Yeah.
it is.
no, I think we covered everything.
Okay, so then just to review, we've got nurse's aide. So nurse's aide 1, okay? Office admin 2, geriatric center 3, you hosted boarders 4, you were a teacher's aide 5, you did hospital x-ray reports, so that's 6, you did clinic reports, so that's 7, you did the hobby shop, so that's 8, you did the Photoshop, so that's 9. Around that time, you started the welcome wagon, so that's 10. Then you did the golf course, that's 11. Then you had the fish and chip shop, so that's 12. Then you had the Shake Shack, so that's 13. You did Gopher Catering, so that's 14. You did the Curling Club, so that's 15. Then you did the Legion, and that's 16. And then you were doing farmers markets, so that's 17. And then you were doing the Grouches, so that's 18. And you were an actress in a movie, so that's 19. And then your clothing and Tupperware parties put you at an even 20.
20, okay.
So you had 20 different jobs and careers over the years, which is very admirable that you were so willing to like pick up new skills and talents along the way.
But that's why, like I say, I think everybody should have more than one talent.
I agree.
You know,
I agree.
That's my philosophy.
I think being a jack of all trades is extremely valuable and
I do
allows
too,
you
to
to have
make
some
to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As you can show through your life story that when you lost one job, you were then able to take
that's
those
right.
skills
Go
and
someplace
adjust,
else. That's right.
rather than
You
just
never
get
were
stuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's wonderful. I appreciate you giving me your time so that we could go through this. I would like to, I think you have a very wonderful background and story that should be preserved. So I'm super grateful for you
It'd be
being able to walk through
interesting.
it. It is very interesting, and I hope to like compile a lot of these details over time. Again, yeah, I'll think about it, but then maybe the next one will be just the Grouches, or maybe I'll look at the list and see if I can pull any like personal stories from them, and we could talk more about stories from these, because as we can see, it already took almost 2 hours just
I
to
know.
go through
I know.
everything that you've done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, thank you very much, Grandma.
Okay,
I
you're quite
appreciate
welcome.
it. Do you have any thoughts? Do you have anything you want to say as we're about to sign out? Is
No.
there anything interesting you want to add
But
to?
like I've said before, I think everybody should have more than one item in their lifetime, so that if something happens, they can always fall on something else. They don't have to depend on one item.
I agree, and that's good advice. I think that's
That's
helpful
what
advice for other folks
That's
too.
my advice. Learn as much as you can. It's not going to hurt you.
Okay. I
Yeah.
think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So then my little sign off for everyone for the internet is if anyone's watching this in the future on YouTube or you're watching this VOD on Twitch, I'll be in Alberta for another week following this, and then back to my wacky life otherwise, so you will see a variety of content for the week that I'm here. I will be doing 2 streams a day from the kitchen, so much like you would have seen this past week, you'll catch a lot of those kitchen variety streams, and otherwise you will see me back to my reselling business when I'm back in Toronto. Plus, I think I've kind of forced myself to have to do more cooking content, so I'll start working in my kitchen again on stream. But yeah, otherwise, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the views. I know chat was a little slow today, but it's because it's a weird hour for the type
course.
of people who sit online. They're usually on either early in the morning or late at night. So for them, they're out actually having a real life, or they're in bed.
Doing something.
Yeah. So don't feel worried or offended by the fact that there
It's
wasn't many.
okay.
It's not a big deal.
It's no big deal to me.
This one I was doing more so for the long-term
I
video
know,
and
that's what
having
I
it on
thought you were
record.
doing.
So that's I don't
didn't
really
realize
care.
you were doing it just for today, so.
Yeah, that's no. It's because it also saves the entire video for me, so I have it long-term.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, do you want to say bye? Do you have anything you want to say?
No, nothing I want to say. Just say thank you if you're watching and have a good day.
Okay. Bye. Have a
Bye.
good day. Thank you very much, Greg.